This is Project Winter. We're on Xbox Series X, taking a look at this very interesting party game. So the general goal here is to either be eliminating players or working with them. I happen to be the traitor, so I'm going to actively be working against these players in order to win, whereas they will be working together in order to capture positions and basically fix objectives along the way. So it's very interesting. It's kind of similar, I guess you could say, at a base standpoint to Among Us, where, you've got this element of, why is this thing stuck on me? This element of, traders and people that you are trying to work with. So it's basically a cooperative game. It's got crossplay. It's not optimized. It has some level of improved, I guess, resolution to it. It does have a 60 FPS target, in case you were wondering. And yeah, it's actually really interesting. Oh, there's also VRR support. I mentioned the crossplay. It's an Xbox Play Anywhere title. So it's actually got like a lot of features to it, and it's just a really great kind of party game of deceit, discussion, hiding, and kind of being smart along the way. So I don't really want to be found out, because my goal is to eliminate the other players along the way, and you do that by using these hatches, by unlocking these secret areas, and generally just going against the team. So there are a few different modes that are present within the game as well. There's like more of a simplistic one, and then there's also a larger scale one, and then there's like a bit of an events type, weird sort of map or game type where things are a little bit more mixed up. But as you can see, I've got my secure crate here that I'm able to take stuff from. So I am the bad guy. And I am actively working against these folks, whereas they're going to be trying to fix things like the power station. They're going to be trying to escape. There is a time limit. They have a certain amount of objectives. And yeah, it's just kind of an interesting mix of gameplay that you kind of work with. And I think it's just really interesting too in regards to, kind of what you're doing, your goals, and it's just a fun little wild party game where communication is a big part of it as well. So that aside, the game does encourage you to actively use a microphone, but you can do a text chat as well, and you can toggle the names on and off if that's of help to you. So aside from being a game where you're straightforward trying to fix things or adjust things, the game also has this really interesting element of survival to it. So I actually need to kind of eat, I need to keep warm, I've got a health meter, you've got to kind of be a little bit smart about it. And I think that's really interesting because it's this extra layering to the experience that you have to deal with. So you can come in here and you can actually cook. So you can take the different resources you have to make food, or you can also craft if you have resources. So you get new tools, new scrap, new weapons, things like that. And it just depends how helpful you want to be to your teammates. And then there's the cabin storage too, in order to contribute to your team, in order to help them out along the way. And again, I'm trying to kill these people. I'm not trying to work with them. There's an exile board too if you want to vote to exile anyone as well, which is kind of neat. So it's got some really interesting mechanics to it that again are very different, right? And you got to be kind of smart, you got to be a little tactical, and you got to move through this environment dealing with stuff. So there's not only just other players, there's also enemy creatures too. You might run into say a pack of wolves. And then there's these bunkers. Well, this isn't a bunker, but there are bunkers you can go to. And these bunkers will essentially basically give you resources and tools, and you're going to use them in order to help yourself out in order to kind of survive. So I'm kind of being a little bit sneaky. I have basically taken all of their supplies, and I'm going to leave them here because I don't want to help them out, right? I'm working against them actively. So that kind of prevents them from being able to, use that in order to get to their next tier of objectives, because they've got, a counting down system for their power station, and it's just kind of an interesting mechanic in that regard. So there's, we might as well, let's see, we're pretty good on those. So we're going to take the red berries, we're going to eat those right away, just to kind of fill up our bars again, and then I want to take the bear trap because I want to use that against my team. Well, again, I keep calling them my team, but I'm actively working against them, the other players in the match. I'm trying to kill them, basically, is the goal of this. Outside of that further, you've got this weathering system. We talked about the wild animals. Sometimes airdrops come into the mix. So there's just a good selection of different things that happen, the different map setups and stuff like that. They do a really good job of just really changing up, what you're doing, your goals. I think it's kind of fun and very interesting to see because it is, again, something that is so different. Do we still have any supplies in here? Because I'm just kind of like, I got my poison meter, but it's not really going to help me unless they are specifically, kind of going for stuff. So you can see I can kind of poison that. And it's just like an active meter thing where I am, working against these people while trying to seem like I'm on their side. Because it is, a cooperative effort, as to say. I'm just like a friendly team player. Although I might make an axe so that I can kind of use that. Oh, they took all the rock minerals. Okay, well, we'll take one of those, and we'll see if we can grab a stone from, like, the box or something like that. Just so we can make, like, a weapon tool, right? Because I could, like, directly attack them. We'll make, like, a sickle. Just because we like to be mysterious and foreboding. But, yeah, it's just kind of this neat setup, something a little bit of a different kind of party game, which can be a lot of fun, especially if you have a group of friends that you're playing with. It just offers a lot of different content and ways to kind of compete. And I think it's a lot of fun, too. Like, I love the snow scene. I love the visual aesthetic. There's a lot of customization as well. You're able to change up how your character looks. You're able to unlock different things as well through, like, a progression in order to change things up further. It's just got a lot going on with it. And I think they kind of handled that aspect of it very well. So I want to kind of sabotage that kind of station here, but at the same time I'm a little bit worried that they might see me, and that might cause a problem because I'm supposed to be a little bit of a a sneaky kind of traitor, as to say, or traitor, as to say, because I don't want them to know that I'm the one doing bad things, right? Because then they get on to me, and that would be mighty sus, am I right? So it's about being a little deceptive, and I'm really happy that I actually got to do gameplay while having this option, right, to be the bad person here, as to say. And then there's also the radio communication, so you get like a walkie-talkie so you can chat with people. I've muted everybody in the chat so that it's not an issue, but yeah, I do find that aspect of it a little bit fun. Just kind of like communicating and being sneaky about things. I think that kind of, really mixes things up quite a bit. We'll put the trap down. And you can also throw stuff too. That's way too out in the open. But yeah, you can like throw things as well if you have certain stuff. So that's kind of a neat mechanic in there. They have a lot in this one. It's definitely a very distinct sort of game. And you can see the little items people are holding too. And that's an extra layering to it. It's like a global events happening, which might be a bit of a snowstorm. So I'm going to be looking at maybe going back to base so I don't die of the cold. Because eventually you will start dying if things don't go well. Like everybody will just fall down dead, which isn't great. Okay, that didn't work out how I wanted it to. That guy's going to know something's up. I'm gonna die as the traitor. No! No, that was very badly done. Ugh. I've fallen and I can't get up. It looks like the dream is over. I don't know really what I'm gonna do here. I think they knew that I was the bad person. Like, the idea was I was gonna, like, kill them from behind there, but that obviously didn't work out very well. I'm just kind of, like, sauntering over. I think I've had enough, guys. It was obviously something that didn't work out. Oh, I'm ghostly now. So then you can do a little bit of an extra thing in here as well. So they definitely saw that, that I was the person that they were trying to get. Yeah, it's just kind of like fun little things. Like, I shouldn't have been stupid there. I should have been more like sneaky. But the idea, well, I didn't know he had a friend there, and the idea was that I was going to kind of surprise them, as to say. And that was generally my mission, so we'll see the next players. I mean, they could still mess this up, but this seems to be a team that actually has everything together. They seem to really know what they're doing. It's just kind of interesting. Huh. Oh, there's we got another guy over here. That's neat too. Yeah, that's definitely a neat mechanic as well. I guess we could have. Well, we could still end up with a bit of a win here. I don't know. We'll have to see how things go. It's definitely interesting. My circle is done. Okay, so now I can do different things, I guess. I can do like I don't know if he's gonna notice that. A little bit of a fire. See, so you could do different extra little mechanics afterwards. You can see like a stat screen and your earnings for the match. Yeah, definitely a neat title. I really do like it. Just, you know, the goals you have and then the different ways that you can interact with the other players is kind of fun. And obviously, you know, I wasn't very smart with the being the killer. I thought I could do a quick little kind of attack thing and stuff like that, because they can defend themselves, obviously, right, as you saw, and they did very effectively. And they're mostly trying to escape, but you know, the clock is it's ticking. It's definitely ticking. I think that's interesting. Guess we don't need that kind of thing as well anymore. Yeah, they just have some really cool mechanics, a neat visual aesthetic. I like the art design of the game. I like what they're going for with it. I think it could be a lot of fun. I think you get a lot of replayability out of it. I like the style, the uniqueness of it. It's just I'm a little. I can't believe I'm all ghostly now. Should have been smarter, but yeah, Mega Blizzard 259. Yeah, that's when things start going down, start decaying. And then what are you gonna do? That's true. But I think they're also, you know, as a team, they're being fairly effective in regards to how they're handling situations and moving around in the environment. I think they actually have a good chance of kind of making out of this. Because it's not necessarily easy for them, you know, the survivors, to actually survive this scenario. It's dangerous. The snow, the creatures, everything like that. It can be a problem. Oh, wow, they've actually got some teamwork going on here in order to get in this area and loot stuff. So we're also getting a good idea of, you know, how they're kind of doing stuff and everything like that. And I think that's kind of a fun mechanic. And I mean, I could have, I guess, backed out or something like that, but I do want to see how this match kind of wraps up, because there's not much time left, right? They are against that clock. Let's see how our kind of pal's doing. So Paco's over here. So only got to disrupt them for another 2 minutes or so. I don't know if I want to give him another health type thing. Magical food. Ooh. A ghostly effect. So we're definitely going to want to unleash that against these guys when they're doing their thing. See, it's just got like really cool setups, really cool areas. I'm just really waiting to unleash this like blizzard thing upon this group, because I know they're kind of moving around here, and the countdown clock's almost gone, so it's going to be very interesting to kind of unleash this blizzard on them, as to say. Okay. We're getting close. They were so close together, too. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Blizzards for all! Even my teammate, which wasn't the best, but that really didn't seem to do anything to them. Oh, it looks like they gotta fix this generator as well. I don't know, it's kind of exciting, because it really is like this race against the clock now, because they obviously haven't done enough progression. We just slowed them down a fair bit, which I think was good, but it's about being sneaky, deceptive, doing the right moves. Like, this guy needs to sabotage. It's not even done yet, but yeah. I don't know, I think they're gonna start dying here. It doesn't look too good for them. The blizzards are going to start coming. Death's going to start coming onto them, and they're not going to make it through the Project Winter. I could also see this being a very fun streaming type game, too. It definitely looks like very geared towards that, obviously being similar to the Among Us kind of style. What you doing there, Paco? I can't believe I got, like, found out so easily. Is he still picking off stuff from my corpse? That's pretty depressing. The global event is coming. It's a meltdown blizzard. Uh-oh. So we're going into a bit of a death stage, I guess you could say. It's just really, really interesting. You can toggle the names for a more cinematic look, but it's kind of interesting to see the different people and also the platforms they're on as well. It's great to have party games like this available on the platform because they're so different and fun. And I know it's not as interesting as like me being actively engaged in it, but it's kind of cool seeing my effects and the long-term, kind of impact of them on the game to see if these guys are actually going to be able to make it or not. So these guys are kind of moving together. Oh, it looks like Paco's making the move. He's got the gun. He actually took that guy down. He was a little bit more successful at killing than I was. Like, again, I thought I was going to get a nice, like, stealthy kind of hit in there, right? And that was my goal. Pick up your axe. Ask him a question. So I'm going to try. Hopefully I'll get enough time for the fire to come in. I don't know. Match will be over by the time I get to impact it. But, yeah, it looks like we're doing quite well here. Oh, there's another ghostly figure. Yeah, this is a really cool game. I quite like this. It's definitely engaging. I think it's a little bit unique on the platform, considering we don't have a ton of similar options at this point in time. Uh-oh. Looks like things might be over soon. Let's see how everybody else is doing, because we can't really help him much. Yeah, these guys are all dying. It doesn't look like there's too many people left in the lobby. I need to get this fire going for this guy. Hopefully I'll give him a hand. Well, maybe I should have used the health. That might have been smarter. I don't know if that's going to do anything for him. There we go. We got our victory. Traitors!